Good morning. So, update. Recently, I've been working on a 18th century renovations, Norfolk coast, and it's all lime. The walls are existing lime, oak battens, lath plaster. Okay, so the ceilings were taken down, last ceilings, but because we've got pigeons up on the roof, it's very noisy. Anyone who lives near the coast will agree. Right, so what we've done is, because the ceiling is separate from the walls, we used 15mm acoustic soundboard. It was very challenging because we had to bring up 3 flights of stairs to come to the top building, as you can see. You know, fairly high up. Yeah, great Yarmouth. Love it. Cut long story short, so we had the sister of the rafters, existing rafters, because they're fairly rotten. Not rotten where they've been woodwormed or anything like that. Just needed support. So the ceilings got new battens, so sistered up basically to them. Okay, now what you've seen up here is where the coving was at the top. Now what I've used is this Universal Breathable Plaster. That's what you see there, lime plaster that is. Okay, it's not gypsum. It's great, absolutely great. Now I was originally going to use lime putty, and I thought, well, I've got to get the lime up here, I've got to get the sand up here, I've got to mix it up. Whereas this, it's done for you. 18 kilos, right? It's 10 litres of water to a bag, okay? But I'd say, with your experience, if you're experienced in plastering, do what you feel is suited for you. Now, it can go on 2mm, it can go on 4mm, it can go on 10mm. It's like a backing plaster, but you can also finish it as a finishing plaster, which is beautiful for me. So for the time being, what we've done is we've gone around the coving area, filled up some of the gaps. I do recommend any cracks use a fibre mesh, okay, or fibres in the mix. That's for your base coat, but you don't really need it for this. Just use your scrim tape to go over any cracks, and then you can use the fine plaster, which is the top coat, which is like a smooth finish, like multi-finish, but obviously lime. But with this, what I like about this one is that it's universal. You can use it as a backing plaster, and you can use it as a top coat. It's beautiful. You're not going to get that smooth finish. You're going to get like a grainy feel to it. When you rub your hands across, you're going to get that grained feel, which is, ideal, I guess, in an old property like this. Now, I love doing these renovations on properties like this. This should be a listed building, but it's not, unfortunately. But I love the character. There's so much feature in this. Now, if you're looking, as you can see, the ceiling is literally come away, the existing lath plaster. So this will be taken down, and then it'll be like this. Now, I've still got a bit of making up to do around the edges in this one. But what's going to happen in this room is that eventually the walls are all going to be done fine coat, or fine smooth, which is this brand. So you've got 3 different brands. You've got the renovation plaster, you've got the universal plaster, which is like both, a bit like cork, very versatile. Cork is obviously totally different to this, but it's a multi-purpose plaster. It's breathable, it's durable. It spreads, up to 5 meters each way, depending on the thickness, I guess. And the setting time is 45 minutes. 45 minutes, which is brilliant. So in that 45 minutes, you can go for a walk, go for coffee, go for breakfast, come back, give it a little trial up, water it, just a spray. Don't overkill it with water. But what I do recommend, with this stuff, you don't need a primer. It's brilliant. All you've got to do is spray the walls down with water. Give it an hour before you start. spray it all down, give it a good soak, and then apply the lime. That's why I love it, absolutely love it. It's brilliant stuff. Those who have never done this before, I would recommend going on a lime course. But those who are experienced, try it out. If you're dabbling with lime, give it a go. There's a few people I know who have been in this industry for years, and all they've ever done is lime plaster, and they won't touch this stuff. They just stick to traditional lime putty plastering and stuff. But this is a game changer for anyone that will flip the houses quick. You can use this. Now the problem is that a lot of guys will use gypsum plaster on old buildings. So this will get PVA'd, then they plaster it. The problem is that what happens is you are trapping the water with the PVA. The PVA is like a water barrier, you know, but also it stops the multi-finish going off so quick. And then there's the multi-finish itself, the gypsum. So it's cement based. Doesn't really do these walls any good. Okay, this is lime plaster, so it should be like for like, yeah. But each to your own. You know, I know some people, especially in the city areas, you know, a lot of them are lime plastered, especially on the old builds. But you know, I've even done it myself in the past. You know, I ain't gonna be a hypocrite and say I've never done it. I have done it on buildings in Norwich and in other places in London. Now I've gone over, PVA'd it and plastered it. You know, back in say many years ago, whereas now you see I don't really want to do that. I want to keep it to its feature, line for line, you know. But yeah, this is great stuff. It really is, you know. And the texture. Right, there we go. Look, I've mixed some up. This is slightly thicker, and this is so you know you ain't got much time. You got to be getting it on there. You know, but for backing plaster, it's ideal. Now, if you want it to go on as a top coat, then it'd be a lot smoother, a little bit runnier. Not like that, be like the multi-finish. It'd be that consistency. You can do that with this stuff. So you've got a choice. You can make it a little bit thicker, not so much water, and have it as a backing plaster, but you could try it up as a finish, and you get the grain. Some customers like that. Anyway,